Hello, my name is Leslie Kays, and I am responding to our latest assignment. It's all about copyright and copyright laws and remixing and what this has done to our culture and our society and how piracy has taken over in other countries and so forth. First assignment was to read, one of our readings was called The Copyright in American Culture, and this was a really interesting article. I thought it was really neat how it went back into the history of copyright and how our ideas and expressions have been the focal point of many important persons in our lives, such as George Washington and Thomas Jefferson. And there were a few quotes in the readings how concerned Thomas Jefferson was, and how he wanted to come forth and make everyone aware that things had to be copyrighted and protected, and words and phrases needed to be protected and not stolen from others. Learned a lot about patents. I didn't really know that patents were so useful or not useful. Some of them are useful and some of them are not. But I like how it's, patents are not always the protection of inventions and processes, but it also protects the words and texts and so forth. I browsed through the table of the copyright law, and when I first looked at it, I was confused because I couldn't understand how something is protected and it's not published yet. That part I had to look at over. I had to reread that part. For example, how could something have a protection on it when it hasn't been published yet? Because I'm thinking once a book or music or anything, a written copy of something, the writer only has rights once it's published. But after looking through the table, and reading the next article, the Library of Congress article, I understood the complexities of it and why written material is protected before it is published. That it's your own words and they cannot be used. I think it was the ideas can be borrowed or stolen, so to speak, but the actual words cannot. So after I reread that, and it sort of made sense. What else? I really liked the videos. The videos were really neat. Steal This Film was an eye-opener. I mean, geez, it's piracy is copyright infringement, and these folks over in Sweden sure took advantage of it, and I just couldn't get over the raids, how the government would raid them, and within a few days they were up and running again, copying music, copying movies, copying DVDs, and basically what they want to do is, well, I guess the mission was not to exactly convict people, but to sabotage them and make the people aware, or society aware, that this is going on. But I got the impression that the pirates actually enjoyed this type of exploitation, because they weren't really convicting them, but again they were almost like exploiting them and making them more popular. Seems like their goal was, the pirates are prepared to be back up in a few hours if this happens again, as opposed to a few days, and they have all these servers everywhere, and I thought that was really interesting. It's too bad though, because I see the other aspect, the other end of it, the Hollywood's angle, where one movie, one clean copy of a script, a movie, can be placed on the internet, and millions can be duplicated and copied at mere 15 cents, 20 cents a copy. And I see where, in fact, I think at the beginning of the Steal This film, there was a statistic, I think it was like $18.2 billion. Yeah, here it is. $18.2 billion was lost in 2005 due to piracy. So that's a exorbitant amount of money. Crazy. A lot of money. Another thing I thought was interesting in that video was I forgot the gentleman's name, but he did say towards the end that the internet is decentralized. Services on the internet are inventive and operated by other network users. I thought that was interesting because it just gives you an idea of how broad and how huge the internet is. So how something so small can be put on there, and the internet just takes this all over the world. So, and then the last video I thought was neat, it was cute, the Fairly Used Tale. That's kind of an oxymoron here. They're taking all these Disney cartoon videos, or movies rather, and cutting them and splicing them and remixing and mashing them up, but delivering one central message, and that's the whole copyright and infringement laws and piracy laws. So I thought that was interesting. But the question here is, you had asked, or Professor Wolf has asked us to respond and try to think of a broader implication of copyright on ideas, ownership, and creativity. Again, I think it all comes down to fairness. I am opposed to piracy and stealing movies and music. I'm opposed because I pay for what I want. I pay for entertainment. Why shouldn't everyone else? I wonder if most of the, I don't know, the stolen information, I wonder, I'd like to know who is the larger market here. Is it the younger generation and they just don't have the funds to pay for these things? Or, I don't know, is it kind of like a generational thing is all I'm trying to, I could think of right now. And people are just not aware of the repercussions when they steal something. In one of the videos, they were interviewing some young girls. They didn't look more than 15, 16 years old, if that. And that's all they know. They live in this generation where they don't think it's a crime to go on and download a song or songs or movie. And I think it's all about awareness. All of this is all about awareness. You know, we want to be able to entertain, but we have to, and get entertainment, but we have to understand that there is a penalty, and there are repercussions, and you know, it's difficult and tedious to steal video, but yet it's being done, and people need to know if they do steal it, there will be repercussions. So anyway, this was a really interesting topic. I have a lot of questions, or some questions, and I want to discuss in class, and see if I could further understand most of this. Okay, thank you.